if you saw the title,
yes, it's true.
Maybe a year or two ago, me and a buddy of mine, Christopher Davis, we do a lot of work together, and we had this idea to make a spec ad. I had an idea for a Nike ad that I wanted to create on Runyon Canyon. He said he wanted to kind of make something, and I was like, perfect. I got an idea that I really want to execute on. It kind of came to mind where I wanted like very fast cuts, then kind of like slow moments of the environment kind of thing. And from actually posting that video on like YouTube, obviously all the social medias and stuff like that, a company had reached out to me called Ichim. I don't know how I'm pronouncing it, to be honest. I know I asked them before and I forgot. I'm butchering it for sure. They're a company like in Stockholm, or they're like resided in Stockholm, which is really crazy. And they found my YouTube video because it had over like 20,000 views or something on YouTube, which is really crazy for me. Naturally organic views. So they ended up finding my email. They emailed out to me. They're like, hey, we really love this video. Like, we want to create something just like this with like our choice of a model, specifically a female model because they're a female clothing company. And they're like, we also want to send you our clothes, you know, and all these certain things. And I was like, oh, I was like, holy shit. At first I was like, this is crazy. And then I was like, let's see if they're legit, because I get a lot of emails and a lot of spam and scams type stuff. And it wasn't a scam. Thankfully, it was an actual business that was reaching out due to like me posting that and creating that video. And we locked in like a whole deal, contracts, all that kind of stuff. They even helped me pick out certain models, and it was great. Their team is great. We've actually continued to do more work together as they've grown and built a team out here in Los Angeles. It's been super cool to see their growth, and just from creating a Nike spec ad or creating a spec piece of work and putting it out there and showcasing it to the world, it's allowed me to create passion projects and still get like client work out of it and get paid for it in the long term. Yeah, this weird. Sponsor me. And me and Chris, we create a lot of spec ads usually while we're doing other paid work in the moment. You know, especially if it's a cool location or a cool opportunity or area, you know, we utilize as much time as we can possibly for getting a spec ad done, and then also doing the work that we're in that area to do. And spec ads, again, are just super great because they push you creatively, and in turn, posting them and creating them and showcasing that work leads to actual work that gets you paid, and people that actually want that type of work as well. Because then you can use that work and send it to other clients. So let's say if I'm making a Nike spec ad, I can send it to Nike, Reebok, Adidas, all these other brands that are, you know, similar to this specific brand. But even diving deeper into it, let's say it's a running Nike video. So like Hoka and all these other like shoe companies that are focused on running, like Brooks and all these other ones, like you never know who might reach out to you, you know, wanting that type of style of video. And then you can obviously pitch a budget, pitch an idea, different concept, stuff like that. And a lot of times you can still keep it in that scope of high-end commercial or whatever, right? Because it could be Nike weightlifting, and then if it's weightlifting, maybe there's other people that are working out and, you know, influencers or whatever it is, where, you know, it can lead to certain things and bigger budgets, and certain people or brands reaching out to you that are, you know, in that similar niche or vibe, you know what I mean? It does allow you to create a team. It does allow you to push yourself creatively and do something that you've always wanted to do. Because I feel like as creatives, you know, we get lost and obviously stuck at a point where we're always just trying to work and keep up and, you know, make stuff that either A, we're only doing it because of like, this is what the algorithm likes, or B, we're doing it to get paid, obviously. And, you know, pay our bills and rent and all that kind of shit. And obviously all that's important, but you still have to allow yourself some time and some effort to create those projects that you've been putting on the side for a long time, and then finally, you know, pull something out and be like, hey, I want to work on this. Who do I need to hire? Because obviously you're learning and gaining all these skills, and gaining opportunities and studios and locations and knowledge and all these things of all, like, and, you know, and knowledge of all these areas and people and whatnot that, you know, you can then pitch to them and be like, hey, I got this crazy idea I want to do, and involves yada yada yada, which you'd love to be a part of it. And one thing I've noticed more is like people care about spec ads. Do you see that? You see that? But I've noticed is people tend to really enjoy that content a lot more because obviously they can see that it's like a passion project. You know, if you put Spec or Spec ad in front of it, people get the gist, especially a lot of creatives that are like, oh my God, like, yeah, this does fit that brand. And a lot of people usually tend to share it a lot more. They like it a lot more and kind of root for you, you know, because you're like the underdog. You're like, this is what I want to be doing. This crazy $20,000 budget only with $100 or whatever the case may be. You know, it starts building community around. People start caring more. They want to learn how you're doing these things. They get motivated by it to do it. I know I do when I see people making Spec ads. And then it's also like, you know, you don't have to always create the same thing that you're seeing always on Reels or favor the algorithm and social media of what, you know, what's trending and what's everybody else is posting and all those certain things. Like, I think creating Spec ads is something that, you know, it makes you push yourself, even though, and it doesn't have to even be a commercial. It could be, you know, something that you wish a brand was doing. Maybe it's even social media content, right? That's revolving around a specific fashion brand or eyewear brand or cameras or whatever it is. Because even then you can still be more creative and push yourself to create different pieces of content. Because I know a lot of creatives that want to be creating certain things, but they're not doing it because it's not getting them paid or whatever it is. And it's a tough battle that we all have to kind of go through. Comment down below a Spec ad that you created on recently or a couple years ago that you're still like super stoked on. As always, appreciate you guys for watching all the way through. Please hit a like, subscribe, all those kind of things. Please leave a comment below on what else you want me to kind of touch on as a creative, or, you know, maybe I'll do like a review of Spec ads. I don't know. Send me your Spec ad and I'll fucking review it, dude. I don't know. I'm gonna do something. But anyways, peace out, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the video. And as always,